All right, good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the first of two fun gameplay streams today. Today will be a much more chill day. It'll be a fun day. It'll be a good day. Good variety of stuff on the streams today, and I hope that you guys are ready for some good stuff today. Today is the 28th of January, 2021. Welcome to the stream. I'm Darkside Phil, and I say hello, hello to you, and I hope you're doing well. Got a good variety of stuff to talk about today, actually, on the pre-stream. So let's get right to it. First of all, the streaming schedule for this weekend will actually be pretty different compared to my typical streaming schedule. So let's talk about that a little bit. Today, it is the continuation of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yes, this game is still continuing. And it's funny because I just saw a news article. Someone from Kotaku beat the game and is like, this game is too damn long. How was I playing it since November and I just fucking beat it? I kind of share the sentiment. It seems like in the modern era, it's quantity over quality at this point. And I definitely believe that Assassin's Creed Valhalla could have been a game that was massively streamlined, and I could have beaten it a month ago and had a better time with it. But anyway, today we're going to be seeing what happens. Last time that I played it, we had major story developments to the point where it seems like, and I say seems because who knows with this damn game, right? But it seems like we may actually be heading into the end game of the game, story-wise. There's still 2 regions I haven't taken over, but it's actually not clear if you actually have to take over those regions or not in order to beat the game, or maybe it's just extra content. I don't know. So we're going to see today, as I play, what exactly is going on. It very well may be that we are heading into the end of the game. I don't know. So hopefully you guys will hang out with me today, and we'll find out together. Okay? Later tonight is my first ever late night post-game stream of Yakuza 7. Now, what is it? It's a super challenging post-game dungeon where all the enemies are high level and there's actually super bosses. For example, I've already went through the first floor and I had to fight a superpowered version of Saejima. And apparently all the bosses from the game kind of make new appearances in this new challenge tower. So is there any more story to Yakuza 7? The answer is no. We're done with that. But there's still challenging stuff to come. And I see this as a fun late night stream where we could just chill and relax while I do a bunch of fun gameplay in the tower. So I hope you'll join me for that if you liked Yakuza 7. If not, maybe you just want to chill. If you're looking for relaxing stuff to just hang out and talk, that's what tonight's stream is going to be, because it's just combat and me talking. We'll see how this goes. If it goes well, then I'll consider doing more of these in the future and keep going, because apparently there is quite a lot of post-game challenge content like this. But if people are bored and don't want to see it ever again, then we don't ever have to do it again. Okay? We'll see how it goes tonight. Alright, now, Friday is when things really get flipped on their head, because on Friday I'm going to be playing Immortals Fenyx Rising as the main gameplay stream. And I have not done this since the launch. Well, I say the launch, not the launch. Since the beginning of my playthrough, which was like a month ago or 3 weeks ago, something like that. I'm doing this per your request. A bunch of people during the course of the last few weeks have contacted me and said, you know, Phil, it's kind of unfortunate you're only playing Immortals as a late night stream. We like the game a lot and we're following on YouTube, but we can't be there for the late night streams because of time constraints. So we'd like to join you, but we can't. Can you change the streams? I said, well, if you want, we could give it a shot. We could flip them this week because I beat Yakuza 7. We have the flexibility to flip the streams a bit and see what happens. So that's actually what I'm doing tonight, or tomorrow, is I'm flipping the streams, and Immortals is going to be the earlier stream. And we'll see how it goes. If it goes well and people show up and support the stream because they've asked for this, then that's great. If not, then we don't have to do it like that anymore, okay? Just being honest. Tomorrow night, of course, my weekly Throwback Street Fighter session, okay? Then on Saturday, the main gameplay stream will be the continuation of Hitman 3. The good news is we're at the end of the 4th stage in the game. There's 6 stages overall. We're about to finish the 4th one and then head into the 5th one. So we'll see what happens there. It's been a fun playthrough so far. And then on Saturday night, yes, my year-end stuff finally begins. It is the most disappointing games of 2020 countdown, where I'll be going through the games that I thought were quite disappointing last year, and I'll tell you why. It's going to be a live stream format where I'm going to be talking about these games as I play video footage of them on the screen, and it's going to basically kind of be like a mini review of each game, telling you why I felt it was disappointing. Each game, roughly, I'm thinking was going to take 3 to 5 minutes. So if you do the math, if there's 10 games or more, I don't know how many there will be. This is going to at least be an hour, if not longer. And then if we end up ending that a little bit on the earlier side, then we can easily either switch over to maybe a little bit more Yakuza 7, post-game stuff, or we can do some Call of Duty. We'll see what I feel like, okay? But we'll see how it goes as well and how long it takes. Fair enough? Okay. Sunday. Again, we're doing something differently, all right? On Sunday, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is actually going to be the main gameplay stream. Now, after last night's stream, basically the way I'm going to judge this is going to be kind of a determining stream on the future of Black Ops Cold War. Please allow me to explain. Ever since the launch of the game back in November, I've been playing it consistently. Every week I've been playing it at this point, about 2 to 3 times a week as a late night stream. I like the game, although I rage a lot because the connections are very, very inconsistent. I'll have one game where everything I do is very, very responsive. I'm able to get my kills easily. Everything works. The bullets register fine. And then I'll play a game, literally the next match, where everything's completely the opposite. Everything's monstrously delayed. My bullets don't hit at all and don't register, while I get insta-killed by everyone around me because the connections are shit. Okay? So, I enjoy playing it, but admittedly it causes me a lot of stress when I play it because the game is shitty when it comes to the server connections and the reliability of the game. Okay? So, last night, I'll be very, very honest with all of you, outside of a couple people who were cheering a lot and a few people who did some tips, it was a very slow stream. In particular, the support was really slow. All right? And, I hate when people turn it into a fucking meme because it pisses me off. Here I am, I'm trying to play the game and have fun. And I'm trying to, stick to my guns and not get frustrated at the bad connections and the like. And by the way, I started doing something new again. I started using the knife this time, which is interesting. I think the knife is broken as fuck, but I started using it to do more variety for everyone because people wanted me to switch stuff up, so I did. And you get people who are going to sit there on the stream and just be like, oh my god, look, no one's contributing. Look, Phil's getting frustrated. Maybe Phil will do overtime because he always goes overtime when he doesn't hit his tips goal and blah, blah, blah. And it pisses me off. It does. I just want to relax and have fun with the game. And I can't when people are constantly harping on horse shit like that. I just can't. The whole stream gets derailed for me. And it pissed me off to the point where it was like, well, I get the feeling what's happened is 2 things. Number 1, I've been playing this game consistently since launch. All right? Now, even though I've done my best to mix it up, and I've gone through several different weapons. If you take a look, I've probably gone through like 7 to 10 different weapons. Every time you guys suggest, oh, try this one, I do. I switch it up, and the game plays completely differently sometimes with some of these different weapons. Burst fire versus full auto, some of the weapons that are only good at close range, etc. So I've enjoyed doing that, but I think people may be just getting tired and getting stale because it's the same game. It hasn't changed. They certainly haven't improved it at all. They added like 1 or 2 maps to it, and that's about it. So that's number 1. And then I'll be honest. I think what people have caught on is that when I play this game, it causes me rage because of the connections. So you get these shithead restreamers who always restream it. And then they send in the assholes to come taunt me and talk about money and shit when I just want to concentrate on the fucking game. And it pisses me off. Alright? So, that being said, okay, being that this stream last night was basically a mess. I was frustrated. Contributions were incredibly low. And everyone was just being a fucking troll. Alright? I'm of the mindset that if that's the attitude that's going to happen when I play the game, that maybe I should cut back on playing it. All right. Now, I'm not saying I don't want to play it. I like the game. But why should I play it 2-3 times a week if every time I play it, it's just going to be, it's a troll mindset to come in here and be a dickhead to me. And, contributions were very slow. And there's many other things I could be playing. Let's be honest here. I said the entire month of January, I was like, oh, I'm going to get to Maneater. And I never got to Maneater. Okay. Luckily, I did get it. Just so you guys know, yesterday, I did download it. It's a PS Plus game, meaning if you're subscribed to PS Plus, it's free. So eventually when I have time for it and I want to do it, I can do it. But there's many other games I could easily jump into that aren't me playing Call of Duty 2 to 3 times a week. Okay? And the way I'm approaching it is thus. If people are going to support it and come out and enjoy the streams, great. But if not, I like the game. I'll just play it once a week. It'll be like a weekly stream, just like I do with Street Fighter. Once a week, I'll do a dedicated Call of Duty multiplayer stream. And then what we'll do is, so one day will be Street Fighter, one day will be Call of Duty, and then 4 night streams will be progress and ongoing playthroughs. Whether it's a night stream of the games that I'm playing as the daytime streams, or maybe I'll have some special games that I only play at night. For example, Maneater would be a really good one there. Okay? So I guess we'll see. We shall see what happens. Alright? So that being said, that's really on Sunday. This is going to determine what happens with the future of Call of Duty. People have asked me to play Call of Duty as a mainstream for a couple of weeks now. Again, similar to Immortals Phoenix Rising, they've been saying, play it on the early stream because you maybe get different connections. Maybe you'll play different people. And maybe you'll get a different audience. So I'm going to do that on Sunday. We're going to see how it goes. If people show up, if people support, and if people, if people basically are supportive of the stream, then I'll continue to play as much as I have. But if the stream ends up being a dud on Sunday and it's just fucking people coming in here and trolling and shit, then I'm probably just going to reduce it and only play it once a week. Alright? So we'll see what happens on Sunday. Okay? Sunday night. What am I doing Sunday night? Because I flipped the streams. Oh, I'm going to do a night stream of Assassin's Creed Valhalla on Sunday night. Now, again, if we're in the end game of the game, which I don't know if we are or not, maybe Sunday night we'll get near the end of the game. I don't know. After today and Sunday night. We'll see. Okay? Then on Monday, the main stream, once again, is going to be Hitman. And at this point, I'm thinking I may actually be almost wrapping up Hitman. Because we're already going to be starting Stage 5 when I play it again on Saturday. And so maybe by Monday, if we do, maybe we'll even finish the 5th stage, get into the 6th. Now, for what I'm to understand, since this is the end of the trilogy, I've heard that the final stages are quite challenging and very lengthy, which I'm happy with. I'm actually pleased at that. I want them to be a good challenge and lengthy, a lot of content, so that way it kind of leaves a lasting impression since it's the end of the series, right? So I'm excited for that. And then Monday night is going to be my Game of the Year Awards for 2020. Yes, we're finally getting it done. Game of the Year Awards 2020 will be Monday night, okay? And then that's the streaming week. Now, next week, I'm going to be doing my Retrospective Marathon event. I don't know when yet, but it's likely going to be, during the weekend. I find that when I do these marathons, doing them on the weekend, either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, is the better option because it allows more people to attend. And a retrospective event in particular, where you guys have been nominating your favorite moments from my over 12 years of content creation, I want as many people to be able to hang out with me as possible live. Okay? So that'll be cool. By the way, please keep nominating your favorite moments by typing !retrospective into the stream chat. And by the way, please keep thinking of nominations for DSP Tries It. Right now, we really don't have many new ideas. It's basically that new chicken sandwich from Jack in the Box, me trying to get something random from a World Market store, although it's not looking too good because I haven't had a chance to go to a World Market store recently, or me ordering pizza and dipping it in some kind of a ranch sauce. It's one of those three. All right? So if you guys have better ideas, by all means, please give me more ideas for DSP Tries It for that marathon. Okay? So, that's kind of the deal heading into February. Heading into February will be interesting. There's going to be not only the retrospective, but like I said, you guys are going to be able to start nominating and voting on a new game for a Viewer's Choice playthrough. And the last Viewer's Choice playthrough will begin. That's Divinity Original Sin 2. As well as Mario is coming out around the middle of the month. That's Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. I'll be playing that. And be balancing other stuff too, obviously. Ongoing stuff. So we'll see how the month goes. I think it'll be an interesting month because finally we'll get a new release and we'll be doing a lot of Viewer's Choice stuff during February. Okay? Alright. Alright, so that's the schedule, everybody. Alright, thank you for listening. I hope you guys will tune in to all the upcoming streams, in particular the daytime streams of Immortals Phoenix Rising and Call of Duty, since those are interesting that I'm flipping those. I'm curious how they'll perform as a daytime stream. But also on top of that, the Game of the Year Award stuff on the late streams. Now, I got a question. Eternal Napalm actually asked me this morning. He says, are you still going to consider doing the best of and worst of the generation kind of countdowns that you had alluded to that you may do? I don't know, and here's why I say that. First of all, it's going to be February in a couple days. All right? I mean, we're so freaking far behind because, honestly, fucking Yakuza 7 and Assassin's Creed are such long fucking games. They took forever. You know, I never thought that I'd still be playing them at the end of January, and here we are. So because of that, they took up all my time this month, and I didn't have time to really do any of the extra stuff that I was planning on doing. That was one of the things I said, oh, I'll do it. Sure, I'll have time in January. I had no time. No fucking time to do it at all. And now, sadly, I'm being honest with you guys now. Right now, this time of year is very hectic for me because it's tax time. And you might be saying it's January. I thought taxes are due in April in the United States. They are, but my tax guy basically wants me to get tax shit together now, which sucks because I don't have any fucking time. I'm working on year-end series and shit, and I was like, oh, now I'll get your tax stuff together. Oh, gee, thanks. I got to drop everything to get my tax shit two and a half months early. And that means, behind the scenes, I don't have a lot of extra time. The time that I have has to go towards doing tax preparation shit, which is very time consuming for me because of the way my business runs and everything. I got to sit here and I got to itemize every fucking expense. I've got to look at every piece of income I got. It's a huge nightmare, all right? And it takes a lot of time to do. So it's annoying, obviously, because I really don't want to say, oh, I can't do it. I wanted to do it. I really did. I wanted to do the best and worst of last gen, but right now, I just don't have time. I know right now, I can tell you right now, until I finish up doing this tax shit, I'm not going to have time. And I don't know how long this is going to take because, like, for example, I have no time in this next week to do it because I'm working on the year-end series. Once the year-end series are done, then maybe a couple days I can take some time behind the scenes to work on the tax stuff. And, you know, that's the time that I would have worked on another series. So it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. It ain't all fun and games. As much as I enjoy playing games for a living, I gotta do all this shit behind the scenes because I run a business and it's fucking annoying. Pisses me off. Okay. So anyway, I can't promise anything. I would like to do an extra countdown for you guys. Best and worst of last gen. But at this point, it may not come out till June. So I guess we'll see what happens. Alright? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Gratuitous Plugs segment. It is during this segment that I like to remind all of you that I am a completely independent content creator. That means I am not exclusively contracted to stream on any service, and I do not get paid for exclusively streaming on any service. I do not have any sponsorships, meaning I don't have to shill any products to you guys. I don't get paid for advertising, all right? I am truly independent. What I say and do on my streams is honest. It's not a paid advertisement. It's not me under an NDA, and I can't say what I want because of something. I don't have to worry about pulling my punches when I'm doing commentary because I might lose a sponsor, all right? And that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people out there who do that stuff, and they make a living doing it, and they're fucking rolling in dough because of it. I'm not that guy. I make my I make my living solely off of your crowdfunding because you guys like the fact that I'm truly an independent content creator, that for over 12 years, I've been here on a daily basis, being incredibly prolific for you, putting out incredible amounts of gameplay, doing fun commentary, having great interactions ever since I became a full-time live streamer 4 years ago, every day hanging out with you guys and having a good conversation and fun. That's what it's all about. And that's why I do it. You know, I do it because it's my hobby, I love gaming, and I do it because also it's meaningful. All right, I don't feel like when I'm on here, I'm shilling to you guys and it's just a fucking advertisement to make a buck. I'm actually having a good time with you and we're having fun conversations and meaningful stuff. Okay? So, thank you guys for crowdfunding my efforts to remain independent. I really appreciate that. I really do. And thank you in advance if you watch my streams or you watch this video on YouTube and you consider contributing to keep everything going. All right? There are many ways that you can contribute. You can either cheer with bits, you can subscribe to my channel here on Twitch, you can gift a subscription to my channel here on Twitch, or you can tip me, alright? All these things are great and they all help out. In particular, tipping helps more than other stuff because tipping is something that I get in the short term, and that's funds that I could put towards something important like paying taxes, hint hint, which is basically what I'm fucking doing right now. I just had to literally empty my bank account to pay taxes. So, thank you in advance to anyone who even considers contributing in any way. Now, that being said, please understand something. My streams are free. They always will be. That's the point. I am not someone who has a paid subscription service. I am not someone who is looking for someone to have to pay to enjoy my content. My content is free and always will be here on Twitch. All right? So, thanks for just hanging out with me. That's what it is all about. But my mentality is thus. If I'm putting out an entertaining stream, if I'm putting out something that's fun to you, then people will reciprocate and crowdfund my ability to keep doing it. And it's worked. For the past 4 years that I've been live streaming full time, that philosophy has worked, and I really appreciate that. Okay? So thank you in advance. Anyone who does contribute, I consider you're going above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer, and I really appreciate the fact that you allow me to do what I love for a living. Okay? Now, a couple things. First of all, if you are going to be a regular stream viewer and a contributor, I strongly recommend you go the extra mile to protect your online identity. What that means is if here on Twitch, I strongly recommend you do not use your real life name or a name that's associated with any of your social media accounts on Twitch here. Why? Because sadly, there's a bunch of people out there who are messed up in the head. They like harassing people online, and if they can get away with it anonymously, they will do it, regardless of the fact that they benefit from it or not. To them in their minds, oh, this is funny or fun or whatever. You know, they get a rise out of it. And you don't want that. You don't want to be harassed online. You don't want people messing with your social media accounts. So you just basically want to disassociate your Twitch persona from everything else. Okay? In particular, if you're a contributor to my streams in any way, sadly, these people will try to hump certain people down and harass you. You don't want that. Okay? Number two, I strongly recommend you turn off direct messages here on Twitch. Direct messages on Twitch are very frequently used for online harassment. I have mine set up so that you can only direct message me if you're on my friends list, and I strongly recommend that you do the same. It just makes sense to do so rather than have people try to harass you here constantly on Twitch. Fair enough? Now, lastly, everyone, if you are considering tipping me today, because that is the best way to support, and I really appreciate those who do, please consider creating a verified PayPal account before you do. What is that and why does that benefit you and me? A verified PayPal account is when you're creating your PayPal account, you actually link your real life information to it, meaning your name, your address, maybe your bank account, or maybe you give them your ID information so they can verify your identity and realize you're a real person. All right? Why does that benefit you and me? It benefits you because it gives you protections. If someone tries to do a transaction on PayPal and commit fraud, you have what's called buyer or seller protection. Like in your case, it would be buyer protection unless you're selling something, where you can basically get your money back. Okay? Same thing with me. If someone sends me a tip and it's from a verified profile, no one can then later on try to lie and be like, oh, well, I didn't mean to do that. Or, oh, that's fake info. I didn't authorize that. No, that's bullshit. It's your real life identity linked to it. They're not going to let you commit fraud. Okay? And the reason that this is important is because it allows me to have a streamlined stream where when people are tipping me, I can trust those tips and shout them out right away and add them to the total and keep things moving smoothly. If not, if it's an unverified account or account that's not no account at all, which means basically someone just threw in a random credit card number, it's not even verified that it's their credit card, this causes problems. This causes backups on the stream. Sometimes I have to ask, gee, is this person here live on the stream or not? Is this someone I can trust? And I don't like having to do that because it does derail the stream a lot. And you might say, well, why do you have to do it at all? Why can't you just accept all contributions? Well, sadly, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the subject of the ire of a really messed up criminal. Over the last 4+ months, someone who gave me, I'm not exaggerating, hundreds of fake tips with stolen credit cards. They actually went on the internet and purchased stolen credit card numbers and then came on my streams and did thousands of dollars of fake tips. And I didn't know it, but it completely screwed me over. There were some days when it looked like I had done really well on stream and I had actually lost money that day because of this guy. When you get fake credit card transactions on your PayPal account, number one, all that money goes away later on through a chargeback process. And number two, there's fees associated with it. There's problems that can happen against your PayPal because this happens repeatedly. It's not a good situation, and it really hurt my business over the fall when normally you'd see a big increase in income and everything. A lot of the times I was hurt on a daily basis by this guy. Okay? So that being said, that's why I'm doing this. And that's why I'm asking you to go the extra mile. If you are a stream supporter, if you're going to tip me, it's going to streamline everything. And again, in long term, it's going to benefit you anyway because it's going to protect you from fraud using your PayPal account moving forward. All right? Now, don't worry. If you do this, none of your information goes public. PayPal's not going to give your information out, because if they do, you could sue them. All right? But I will say this, be careful, because some people don't realize that it puts your real name there, your full name. You can actually make your PayPal account have a different name if you link it to your Twitch, and you do it that way. But some people like make it, and then they're like, oh, I tipped, and here's the guy's name, so I read it out. Thanks for the tip. And he's like, oh, you said my real name. Like, yeah, because you put that on your PayPal account. Like, what else am I going to read? Right? So be careful. All right? Fair enough? Okay. So thank you guys in advance for any contributions. I really appreciate that. All right? Now let's move on, because I have a lot of gaming news to talk about today. First of all, I want to say rest in peace to someone. Is very sad story. All right, I'm trying to find the name right now because I want to give homage. It's a voice actress who actually did a lot of work on the upcoming Resident Evil Village, and very, very sadly, she passed away at the age of 39. Very young to be passing away from cancer. Where the hell is her name? I want to. Gee, I feel. Here it is. So, rest in peace to Jeanette Mouse. Yeah, apparently she played several characters in the upcoming Resident Evil Village game. And how that really sucks. I mean, obviously, to pass away at a younger age from cancer is absolutely terrible. Okay, and then on top of that, the fact that you're working on a major release that you know likely is going to be a great game people are going to absolutely love, and then you never get to actually see that game be released to the public. That's fucking terrible. So rest in peace. That's really sad news. Colon cancer. That's what took the Black Panther. Jeez, sucks. This fucking sucks. Okay, now let's move on to other stories, because I'm fucking bummed. So, first of all, today, The Medium has released. What is The Medium? The Medium is a survival horror style game for PC, Xbox Series S, and Xbox Series X. Sadly, I'm in a position where it's the first time in 12 years of content creation that, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot play a game that I actually really want to play. I can't play it on PC because there's no way I'd be able to play it on PC while capturing and streaming it. It would chop up and run like shit. And I don't have an Xbox Series S or X. This is the first time in over 12 years that I've been a gamer, and this is my job, and I can't fucking play a game I want to play. Why? There's only one culprit to blame for this entire fucking situation. Scalpers. Because of this crazy ass, who would have predicted it, worldwide pandemic, and the fact that consoles are only available by buying them online, we're in a situation where these consoles are not available. In a normal world, a non-COVID world, these consoles would have been widely available by now. You know, we're over 3 months after the launch, right? And you still can't buy these things. Oh, I want to buy a console. What do I got to do? Oh, I got to fucking go and sit in an online queue for hoping that a console will drop online. Then I gotta click like a mad person to try to check out. Oh, look, the website crashed 17 times and I was trying to fucking check out. You know, it's ridiculous. And half the time, scalpers buy them all up. And then they try to sell them for double price because they're pieces of human shit. Scumbags who try to capitalize on COVID. Because that's exactly what it is. In a normal world, these consoles would not all be online. You'd be able to just walk into a store and buy one. But because of COVID, the supply is short. You can't do that. So these fuckers are literally capitalizing on COVID. They are the scum of the earth. Anyone who does this is a piece of human fecal matter and should be stomped into a disgusting brown paste. You know, nasty. Nasty people. Okay? That being said, it sucks. This is a situation where I obviously, as a content creator, wanted to have both consoles so that I could do a direct comparison, much like I did back in the day with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. I wanted to be able to cover all the stuff for you guys, and now I can't. I mean, let's be honest here. I was very lucky to get a PlayStation 5. The only reason today I have a PS5 is because during a live stream at night, I was playing Batman Arkham City Remaster, okay? and someone came into the chat and told all of us together, hundreds of us sitting here, watching the game, right now you can buy a PS5 if you hurry on Amazon. You got to get over there right now and use this special code to get to the page, which is unlisted, and then you can get a PS5. Okay? Pretty crazy. And that was the only reason that we were all able to get it. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even have a PS5. I wouldn't have been able to play any of the great games that were PS5 exclusives and or much better on the PS5 in the last 2.5 to 3 months. Just think about that. So, it's crazy that even people, this is our jobs, and we can't fucking get our hands on the consoles because of these scumbags running bots trying to make money and capitalize on the fucking pandemic. I mean, talk about the lowest form of human life. I mean, they are complete scumbags. Okay? Now, eventually I would like to get an Xbox Series X. I want to get an Xbox Series X. Okay? I feel that eventually the value will be there. Right now, not so much, being that the Medium is pretty much the only game that's console exclusive on there that I would play. $500 to play one game, right? Probably doesn't make much sense anyway. But long term, you're going to have all these Microsoft exclusive IPs that are on there. They've bought all these game studios. Game Pass is going to be a huge value. So yeah, long term, I'm going to have a benefit from all of this. So I want to get the console eventually. But if you guys haven't heard, AMD, who is the manufacturer of the processor for both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series S and X, has come out and publicly stated that because of COVID, likely these processors will not be in abundant supply until the end of this year, and therefore we're likely going to see console shortages of both of these consoles for the entirety of this year. That is unprecedented. It has never happened in history where at the launch of a major console, people can't get their hands on the console for an extended period of time. And I had to say it. Sadly, this may force game companies to completely rethink their strategies. There may be games that are console exclusive for this. I still call it next gen because most people don't have them yet, So there's going to be games that are exclusives that just aren't going to sell well, that normally would have sold millions and millions and millions of copies, and they're not going to sell anywhere near expectations because people can't buy the fucking consoles. So what's going to happen now? Are we going to see more games that are decided to be cross-generational and then they run like shit on the last generation? Like, this is an unprecedented time in history for gaming in particular, of course, for humans as a whole, but for gaming, this is like just a crazy year. I don't know what the hell is going to happen in 2021 with gaming at this point. So I guess we're going to see what happens. All right. Now, in regards to the medium, if you're lucky enough to have an Xbox Series S or X, or if you have a gaming PC and you can play it, congrats. I hope you enjoy it. If it's a great game, hopefully you have a good time with it, and hopefully you can at least share that sentiment with everyone here on my streams, because I like survival horror a lot, man, and I totally was into this game when I was seeing all the advertisement and promotion for it last year. I was like, man, I can't wait to play it, and I can't play it. And there's nothing I can do about that, So, it is what it is. I'll keep doing what I can do with the stuff that I got. At least it's only one game for now. But here's hoping that everyone, it's not just about me, guys. It's about everyone. Everyone should be able to get these consoles. And because these fucking scalpers ruined everything for everyone because they're scumbags. Greedy, selfish fucking scumbags. We're in the situation that we're in now. And here's hoping it'll get better. The sooner the better. Okay? Alright. Another piece of gaming news. The voice actor who has voice acted Sonic the Hedgehog for the last decade is out of the role. He announced it this morning that basically Sonic the Hedgehog in video games will now be voiced by someone differently, but we don't know who. There hasn't been an announcement of a replacement, just that basically it's not going to be him. And some people are very upset about this. They really enjoyed the guy's work over the last decade, and they're sad to see him go. Others are just very interested in speculating what happened. Why is this guy ousted from the role? Does this mean there's a new game coming out soon that we don't know about, and they wanted to do something different? Who is the new voice actor? Will they do a good job? A lot of speculation whenever something like this happens. So I guess we'll see. But maybe they're bringing back Jaleel White. Who knows? I don't think so. That would be awesome. Honestly, that'd be awesome if they did, but I don't think they're going to. I guess we'll see what happens. Some people have suggested that I will be the voice of the new Sonic. Listen, people have been listening to me sing the lyrics of Sonic songs for the last decade. So people are already conditioned to expect my voice whenever they play Sonic. I dare you to play Sonic Generations and not start singing, I am fucking Sonic. Fuck your mother, your sister, and your brother. Like, who? You cannot play that game and not sing that song. All right? So maybe I'm the new Sonic. Maybe I will be the new Sonic. Perhaps I've been contacted behind the scenes. And this is opening the door to a new opportunity for me and for everyone. Or maybe that's just your deepest, darkest nightmare come to fruition, and you hope that I'm joking. All right. So anyway, guys, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that. Now, the real story for today, ladies and gentlemen, we've all been talking about it for days. The stock market going crazy because of people who've been buying stocks of unlikely companies, namely GameStop, AMC, what was the other one? Best Buy? No, not Bed Bath & Beyond. And there was 4 major stocks. I can't remember what the other one was. But basically what Redditors have been doing, people on the forum Reddit, is they've decided that they want to completely flip the stock market on its head and screw over rich people. So what they've done is they have staged a coup, having people buy up certain stocks that normally would have like little to no value because these companies are basically failing companies, okay? And they've completely blown up the stocks of these companies to the point where people who are invested in hedge funds and people who are invested in shorting stocks, which is a strategy when it comes to the stock market, have lost billions and billions of dollars. All right? First of all, I think the stock market is completely fucked up in the way that it's designed. Innately, it's designed to benefit rich people. Normal people normally cannot do anything with the stock market. You have to have frivolous amounts of cash to invest in the stock market because there's insane amounts of risk involved. Chances are when you invest in the stock market, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to lose all your money. So if you're rich and you take a big gamble and you do this 25 times, if you actually succeed 2 times out of 25 and you make a ton of money there, you see, versus someone who, oh, this is my life savings, I guess I'll invest in the stock market. Oops, I lost it in 10 minutes and now I'm broke for the rest of my life. There's a big difference there, a big disparity. You see what I mean? So, the truth of the matter is that the rich people are fucked up. They're trying to completely control everything, business, our way of life as Americans, and the stock market is one of the major ways that they do it, okay? So this whole movement, this Reddit movement to basically kind of screw over mainstream investors has been crazy and revolutionary, and people have been looking at this like, holy shit, this is nuts, okay? So what has happened in the last few days? The stock prices of all these stocks that normally would be undervalued, crappy stocks, like who the hell thinks that GameStop has a good future when they were on the verge of bankruptcy and no one will go into their stores to buy games anymore, right? No one. But people are doing the opposite. It's basically opposite day. Do the opposite. Buy the shit out of the stocks that basically don't really have much value, and then the value goes up and everyone makes money. But the normal investors, the rich people, don't like this because this is flipping the whole system on its head, causing chaos for them and causing them to lose tons of money. So, what happened? Something insanely controversial that even has the United States government involved in looking into it now. All of the apps that allow people to trade have shut down the ability to trade these stocks. Meaning, if you're a normal person like you or me, who wants to do online trading and you want to buy GameStop right now, you can't buy the stock. It's frozen. Oh, we're just shutting down the ability to buy it. But if you're filthy fucking rich and you work on Wall Street, or you have one of these hedge funds, you're one of these big companies, oh, they could just still buy it if they want. They could sell it if they want. They could do whatever they want. I just wanted you to think about that. It's supposed to be a free market where anyone can invest in whatever they want, and all these apps have shut down and said you cannot buy those stocks anymore. Huh? How does that work? So, of course, now people are doing research, and guess what they're finding out? all these apps. So there's a few of them. Robinhood, Webull. There's like 3 or 4 of these major investment apps. All of those apps are essentially funded by rich investors and hedge fund holders. So the people who are losing all their money right now because a bunch of people banded together on the internet and invested in unlikely companies, those people, all right, are being screwed over by the people who are rich and who are losing money because of those investments. They shut down the apps. They basically said, oh, well, fuck you, we're rich and we control everything, so fuck you. And they shut down anyone's ability, normal people's ability, I should say, to buy those stocks. And so the whole thing's frozen. And now the stock prices have plummeted. GameStop, AMC, all the prices of those stocks have plummeted now because no one can buy them anymore. It's, quite frankly, completely immoral, first of all. And you have to wonder if it's even legal. You have to. You have to wonder if doing that is actually legal or not. So people on both sides of our government, both Democrats and Republicans, have come out and said, we need to get involved in this because we think that this could be huge fraudulent crimes. And what's happening now is it's actually exposing our whole investment system, all of Wall Street, as being a system that only works for the rich. Anyone who actually wants to try to make money in it, you can't, because at any time, some rich motherfucker can say, oh, well, I have a stake in this and I'm losing money, so shut it down. Make it so that those normal people can't invest. Only the rich people can. Now, what the fuck is that, right? It's supposed to be a free market. That's how the market's supposedly supposed to work. And this has exposed corruption is what's happened. Are you shocked that the United States is corrupted? I mean, really, at this point? Are you really shocked? Right? So, pretty messed up. Now, by the way, you may be wondering how this whole system works, all right? You may be saying, how exactly does short selling work and everything, and why is it that people stand to lose money because a company like GameStop that normally is valued very lowly because it almost declared bankruptcy, you know, no one goes to the stores and buys games there anymore. How is it that making that company be valued highly would make rich people lose money? I'm going to explain it to you in a nutshell. I actually was looking for like a good explanation. I understand it personally because I went to school for it, but I didn't really know yet. Like yesterday I was trying to talk about it and I failed. I know I did. I was trying to explain this. I didn't do a good job. And I was like, how can I explain it in a nutshell? And I found someone on Twitter who did a post and the explanation is really good. All right. So here's the explanation. I'm going to read this to you. Okay, guys? This is from a Twitter post. So here you go. So you have to understand what a short is in trading. So what is a short? A short is when you borrow a stock from a broker and you sell it immediately at its current price, but then you hope the stock's price will fall. So then you're going to buy that stock back at a lower price and basically you've made profit. Okay? So for example, let's say GameStop is valued at $10. So what you're going to do is you're going to borrow a share of GameStop from somebody. Just borrow it. You're going to sell that for $10. You hope the value of the stock drops to, say, $7. You buy it back at $7. So now you own what you started with, but you made a $3 profit. That's what short selling is. Okay? Now, I just want you to think about this for a moment. Okay? Borrow stocks? Like, what? And that's when I was going to school for this. And I actually found out how the whole stock market works. You've got a whole system based on speculation. Not facts. Speculation. Just guessing what's going to happen with the value of a company or a stock. And sometimes people can be completely wrong, and it doesn't matter. Because you bought or sold a certain stock, you can actually force the value of that company to go up or down. That's exactly what's happening with GameStop. Okay? So the company itself, there's no reason why you should value this company highly. The company is on its last legs, was about to declare bankruptcy. The only reason it didn't is because Microsoft came to its rescue and invested a bunch of money in it. And basically Microsoft is trying to get a foothold in retail stores. Okay? And if you go to GameStop, they don't barely ever sell video games anymore. It's just a bunch of junk. It's a junk store. Because what they did is they bought out that business, ThinkGeek. That was an online business that sold all kinds of nerdy swag, I guess you could call it, things that are pop culture, comic books, video games, all that kind of merch, that's primarily 80% of what they actually have in their stores, okay? It's junk. No one's going to GameStop that much anymore to buy anything in person, especially with COVID. Everyone's ordering everything online. So basically, GameStop is an outdated thing that doesn't need to exist anymore. The company, by rights, should be going out of business, all right? So for people to invest in this stock is nuts. But just because people have bought up the stock, the value of the stock has gone up. People who do what shorting, basically what they did is they all bought GameStop stock at $10, hoping that the value would go down to $5 and then make a $5 profit. And then it went up to $513. And they're legally committed to have to buy the stock back at $513, even though they paid $10. So they lose $400 to $500 on the sale. And this is why overnight these hedge funds went out of, we're going to declare bankruptcy because we lost all this money on GameStop. So I just want you to think about that. Our entire financial system, okay, is based on guessing. It's based on luck. And it's based on someone saying, hey, can I borrow a stock from you to try to make a profit? What? And this, I couldn't make this up. This is how we're set up in the United States. What a joke. What a fucking joke. There's even worse than this is commodities. Commodities by far is the worst. You're guessing, oh, there may be bad weather this year, so corn may actually be undervalued because, the corn production will be down because of bad weather. So I guess it'll be this much. So I'm gonna commit to buying this much at this time at this price. What? You're guessing. The fuck are you talking? What is this? But the bottom line is the whole system's corrupt. It always has been. That's why when you hear politicians say ridiculous things like everyone in America should be investing in the stock market, go and tell them to go fuck themselves. Because the only people who can actually make a living doing that are rich. If you're rich and you have crazy amounts of throwaway fuck you money, meaning this money can be pissed away at any time, it doesn't affect me negatively at all. If that's your life, okay, then you can invest in the stock market regularly. And yeah, out of every 25 investments, one will pan out good. And that one ends up panning out so well, you make profit on the other things. Even though you lost money on 24 investments, the one that made money made you tons of money. And therefore, oh my God, I made out. That's who makes out in the stock market. Not normal people like you and me who just, oh, we got a stimulus check, so I'm going to throw that into the stock market. Oops, I lost it overnight. That's typically what happens to normal people who try to invest in the stock market. So it's a fucked up system to begin with. And then on top of that, on top of the system already being rigged against the normal person, right? Now, normal people have found a way, via the power of the internet, to band together anonymously, invest in things to drive up the value of the company, and basically say, hey, we're going to make a big profit doing this. And now the rich people have said, no, we're shutting that down. We're shutting down all the apps. You cannot invest anymore. Wow. And that's somehow legal. And that's why, like I said, people from both sides of the aisle in our political system have stepped up this morning and said, no. Something's up here. How can the system be like that? How can you tell rich people they can still invest, but no one else can? That doesn't make sense. And that's what happened. Overnight, they shut down these apps. They made, these apps you cannot invest in these certain stocks anymore. And now the value of those companies has plummeted. All of them. GameStop, AMC. Wow. So because people can't continue to buy like they were doing, now the value's plummeted. And so all the work people did this week is gone. People who held these stocks, they're getting fucked over. It's pretty messed up. Will anything change? I don't know. Probably not. I'm going to see, I don't want to say I'm a cynic, but here's the thing. I've said this many times over the years. Our government in the United States is very much controlled by major corporations and rich people because we have what's called a lobbying system. What that means is that rich people, i.e. those who control corporations, send people to Washington, D.C., our capital, where all our lawmakers work. And they actually sit there and they petition for meetings with our lawmakers. And they sit down and have these arrangements. Oh, I really need you to push for this agenda because it benefits this company or this rich person. And The lawmakers actually do it. Why? Well, they don't receive direct payments or anything from these guys because that would be illegal. But what ends up happening is all of a sudden, gee, isn't it funny that when that person left office, all of a sudden they had a speaking arrangement at a corporation and they got paid $1 million to do it? Isn't it funny that when that senator first started their job, they were a normal person, but when they stopped their tenure as a senator, now they're a multimillionaire out of nowhere? I wonder how that came about. It's a fucked up, corrupt system. That's how our government works. So if that's how our government works, and it very much is matter-of-factly true how it works, we all know that's why you have certain senators who have actually tried to campaign to stop lobbying, and it never works, because the rich people with money always win out. So if that's the case, how on earth do you expect that our lawmakers are going to do anything about this? What's going to happen is those rich people who shut down those investing apps are going to go to Washington, they're going to lobby with the lawmakers and be like, hey, if you know what's best for you and your future, you better shut the fuck up. So anyway, you know, I guess we'll see. It's funny, so somebody said, how many senators are normal people? Right. Most of the people in our government are rich. Our whole system is set up that only the rich can be in power anyway, because you need to have multi-million dollars to even run a campaign. For the sheer amount of advertisement to get your name out there, you need to have millions and millions of dollars. So you already have the hyper rich going into positions of power, becoming more hyper rich. That's the system. That's why when you have a situation like this right now with GameStop, right? Oh, normal people are making big money. Shut it down. Shut it down, because God forbid you take money from the rich and give it to those who aren't rich. That's our country. That's capitalism. That's the system we set up. And that's the system we live with every day. And somehow people just think it's okay. Oh, that's fine. That's fine because, you know, I can sit on my smartphone all day. So as long as I'm distracted from all of it, I'm good, right? Pretty fucked up when you think about it, to get your eyes open to the situation of how things really work. But anyway, that's why it's in the news right now. It's unprecedented that something like this has ever happened in the history of the stock market. And now people are wondering what the hell's going to happen, because now finally it's being exposed that really it's not a free market at all. It's a market 100% controlled by the rich. And how is that fair? When the little guy finally got a chance to make some money and it got shut down, how the fuck is that fair? Right? So I guess we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's the news. Isn't that some great news, guys? All right. Let us now move on and do shout-outs. All right, let's get to shout-outs here. This is not working. Hold on. Okay, it's finally working. It was frozen. You heard me press that key? It wasn't moving at all. Now it's finally moving. Okay, so, excuse me. Shout-outs. Shout-out to Phantasy Star PG, who did a 50-bit cheer. It says, today is the release of the Medium and the start of the road to Halo Infinite, but people forget Xbox One had good years of gaming from 2013 to 2016 when Xbox had the big 3 games every holiday season. 2016 was their best year. It had Gears 5. He says Gears 5, but it was actually Gears 4. Horizon 3, would be a Forza Horizon 3, and Rise of the Tomb Raider. Timed exclusive, I know, but now 5 years later, Xbox finally gets a sequel to that epic year, because it has, hold on, it says, in 2016, when Xbox had holiday games, they outsold PS4 for that month, even with sharing with PC. Yeah, and, you know, I actually feel, moving forward, hopefully, they'll be able to compete. And what I mean by that is, they've bought out so many game studios now, and or have taken other game studios under their wing, they'll finally be able to have some great exclusives and make it a good value. All right? Make it a really good value for those who have Game Pass. All right? I would love that as a content creator, to spend $15 a month and get unlimited access to all these new games on Xbox would be amazing. I just need to have the console, and there has to be games to buy. And right now, neither really exists besides the Medium, you know. So it's not a big deal for me now, but long term, I really do feel this is going to be a really great value for everybody. And so I'm looking forward to eventually getting the console when there's games for it. We'll see what happens with that, obviously. Okay. Golden Colts cheers. What is the best beer to drink when you're sad and alone? I cheered 90 because I'm not a 50-bit shrimp. I shrimpin'. Is that a emote? I shrimpin'? Anyway, I've never seen a shrimp emote. I was just curious if there's a shrimp emote. But, the best beer to drink when you're sad and alone? Probably some hipster brew or something, you know. They have a lot of those out here. They have a lot of, like, independent breweries out here that they do all hipster drinks and hipster beers that are just ridiculous names and stuff. But I don't know. The thing is, I'm not a big beer drinker. So I couldn't really answer that because I just don't have enough knowledge to honestly, answer that question. All right, so now we start off with people who have cheered during the stream. We start off with Local Nomad, so let's get him up on the leaderboard for 121-bit cheer. Okay, and he says the following. For a future sub goal, maybe something you could do that's different, do a completionist month. Depending on a game that I'm playing, I could try to do maybe all the different kinds of trophies, side content, or collectibles in that particular game. He says, no obligation, just throwing something out there. Well, see, the thing is, as different as that might be, I don't necessarily know that would be entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, depending on the game, it's a collectathon. Go out there and collect every single collectible, and it takes me a million years because it's so tedious. Or, it's an RPG where you have to grind to level 99, and it takes, like, 30 more hours of gameplay. You see what I mean? You gotta understand that, basically, hold on, stretch it. That's a good stretch. You gotta understand that, basically, although I am a gamer, and gaming is my hobby and a passion and something that I love, it's also my job. My job is to entertain you and put out an entertaining stream every day. I don't know if necessarily doing completionist runs of games is very entertaining. All right, maybe there is an audience for that, but there's already people out there who do it, right? So for me to jump into a new kind of content in that regard, I don't know if necessarily it would work or if people would be interested in it. I mean, by all means, everyone, if this sounds like something you would be interested in, then let me know. But I'm not so sure. I'm a little bit skeptical that people would really care about me seeing that. Okay? Or care about me doing that, excuse me. Seeing me do that, I guess I should say. So. But thank you for the cheer, Local Nomad. It is an interesting and unique idea. Liza Soul did his first cheer of the day. He said, good morning, Dad. I'm not your dad. I'm not the father. Who is your daddy and what does he do? Better tell us. The Leg Slap of Doom cheers. He said, good morning. I'm currently playing the medium, and I hope you've been good. I don't want to spoil anything. I like the game so far. It gives me Silent Hill vibes. I love those kinds of games. Hopefully you'll try it out in the future. Have a great day. Thank you, Leg Slap. Enjoy the game. I'm happy that you're enjoying it. Liza Soul cheered again. He says, can you do an impromptu musical number of one of your pre-stream songs? I am fucking Sonic, and I'm gonna fuck your asshole. I'm gonna eat some chili dogs, and then I'm gonna fart a storm up. Alright, it's enough of that. Liza Soul cheered again. He said, did you ever skip class? So, and then he says something disgustingly sexual. No, hold on. No, first of all, that never happened, and second of all, it's fucking disgusting. Grow up. Okay. Let's continue. Tarantula, MS 2018 is the first tipper of the day and says the following. Hey, Phil, I'm currently watching through the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies. I finished the old classic films from the 30s and 40s a few months ago. Have you ever watched any of the Mummy movies, and did you like them? I think I saw the original Mummy movie, the old Universal movie from a long time ago. I'm pretty sure I saw at least the first one or two Mummy movies, because I know I saw the one that had The Rock in it, because of the gimmick of The Rock being in a movie back then was kind of a big thing. So I think I saw like the first two Mummy movies. I don't know if I saw all of them. I think there was a third one. And I never saw the Tom Cruise one, the one that completely fucking flopped. Because remember, they were going to do, I can't believe they were going to do this. But at one point in the 2010s, I think it was like the mid-2010s, they were actually going to reboot all of the Universal classic horror franchises. The Wolfman, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Mummy, Dracula. And I think what they were actually saying, if you could believe this, based off of the popularity of Marvel, they were going to try to make a Universal Pictures monster movie cinematic universe where all of it connected. Okay? I don't know where they got that idea from or why they thought it was going to work, but someone greenlit this. And it was supposed to be Tom Cruise at the helm with the Mummy movie, and I guess he was going to cross over into other movies and stuff. And the movie flopped huge. So since then, there really haven't been any further developments, although someone in the stream just said it's still happening. That's preposterously stupid. I can't imagine. Like, what are you talking about? Why would they continue to do this? Okay. Anyway, let's continue before I laugh too hard. Lies for Soul did a 200-bit cheer. He says the PS2 had one of the best platforming games in my opinion. Prince of Persia was one of those games that had puzzle-like platforming. Excuse me. The manipulation of time did add some challenge to parts, but it made it almost impossible to die. Yeah, and that's what made it one of the most unique games, because it had an actual unique mechanic to it, which is hilarious, because when you look at modern games, how many games that come out today can you actually argue has a unique mechanic, right? Very few. Most of these games just kind of follow some kind of a cookie-cutter model, and they don't really veer too much in anything unique. But Prince of Persia absolutely, absolutely was a unique game for its time. Super Sly Gaming has resubscribed for 5 months. It says, can you play Immortals and Call of Duty on the day stream? I can't catch it at night. Yes, Super Sly Gaming. That's what I'm doing on Friday and on Sunday. Thank you for the resub. Lights for Soulless Cheers says, I love making mac and cheese. It's my favorite part. Oh, my favorite part is the sound that makes when you're stirring mac and cheese at the end. So you like the squishy sound it makes? The rubbery, squishy, cheesy sound? Okay, then. Rob on Wheels is here. What's going on, Rob? Excuse me. He says, I'm probably not going to get... Oh, wait. First of all, he did a 1,500-bit cheer, which is the biggest cheer of the day. So let me actually get this up on the leaderboard, okay? Let's do this. Here we go. Okay. So he says the following. I'm probably going to get shit for this. Well, you won't get shit from me, but I'm sure other people are going to shit. You know, some people just can't stop shitting. Will you do a fundraiser stream towards equipment? I think it might be a good idea. Okay. So first of all, let's give some background to why he's asking this. I've said that this year coming up, if things go well, which we don't know what's going to happen yet in regards to my streams and everything, but if things go well, this may be the first year in many, many years that I'm out of massive financial distress and I can actually reinvest into equipment for the business. Instead of just games and cost of maintaining the business like internet, I can actually maybe get some new equipment for the business. Namely, a new laptop, a new webcam, a new chair, and possibly a whole new gaming PC / streaming PC. Well, you know what I mean? Like, everything could be upgraded, all right? I still think some things, like, for example, this microphone and this is fine. The soundproofing in my office is fine. That kind of stuff is good. But there's definitely a lot of stuff that could be improved around here, because this is all old, outdated shit, okay? So all that being said, I've been talking about it, but I've been telling you guys right now there's no way I could do it. This month in particular is a very expensive month for me. I just emptied my bank account paying my taxes, and, you know, I got to see what happens. But I'd like to do some big upgrades, and maybe as early as next month, depending on how things go. We'll have to see. Of course, the problem is, and here we go, because every month there's something that happens. Next month typically is the month where YouTube ad revenue plummets. It usually starts in January, and I get paid for ad revenue in February. Not to say that ad revenue is a giant amount of my income. It's not. But it is a chunk, a smaller chunk. And seeing a big dip in that, it's going to affect me. Basically, it means normally stuff that I'd be able to maybe afford, I can't. And I got to, like, penny pinch for a month or two until things get back to normal. And if that's the case, how the hell am I going to now invest in equipment now, right? It's the problem. It's like, it's just a cyclical thing. So, we'll see. But in regards to actually holding special events, like a fundraising stream, where I'm trying to actually do it like a tips goal, so I can go get equipment, I'll be honest with you, Rob, it's a good idea. Honestly, I think it's a good idea. But I've held off from doing it for a particular reason. I'll say there's 2 reasons, all right? First of all, I do feel that in previous years, not so much in 2020, because 2020 was a different kind of year with the vest streak and everything, and we all know that. But in previous years, I've done a lot of fundraising streams to try to help out in situations like the tax situation and stuff like that. And it got to the point where people just felt like there was always another problem, that another emergency that I need to do another special emergency stream for. And people got very jaded. They just got tired of it. Why is Phil always doing every other month Phil's doing a special emergency stream, fundraising stream, and they got angry. And I agree with you guys. I didn't like doing that. It was always some new bullshit going on that was fucking me over, that I needed to put out a fire, put out a fire, put out a fire, put out a fire. And it was incredibly frustrating. My life was incredibly frustrating during those times, okay? Last year, I didn't do any special fundraising emergency streams at all because, number one, thank God there were no huge emergencies, all right? And number two, because of the vest streak, you know, going on so long, I got so much financial support, admittedly, through tips, that I wasn't put in a situation where I couldn't, you know, I couldn't afford stuff. For example, last year, I've already talked about this. Last year, there were several things that happened that were pretty pricey. I had a plumbing issue in my house that was an emergency that I needed to have a plumber come and fix. Jasper got sick at one point, and we had to take him to the vet. There was a few things going on last year that happened that were very expensive. But because you guys were supporting me, it wasn't like, oh my God, emergency stream, guys. I didn't have to do that, okay? So I feel that when I was doing those streams so often in previous years that people got pissed. I agree with you. Like, I was pissed that I had to keep doing them. And it was actually refreshing in 2020 that I didn't have to do that. And if anything, let's be honest here, if anything, it showed that without having to do those emergency streams, people would still be supportive. Look at how long the vest streak lasted, right? Being honest, people were still love my content. It wasn't that people were stepping up to support only because there was an emergency. People were supporting because they like me and my content. That's the bottom line, okay? So that's number one. Number two, Rob, and this is me being very honest, I'm deathly afraid and nervous that I'm going to do something like, okay, special fundraising stream so I can afford a new laptop and a chair. So let's do a stream to raise, I don't know, $1,000, and that will give me leeway to get a kind of laptop I need and a good chair or whatever, right? And we do it, and I raise it. Then something happens behind the scenes that fucks me over, and all of a sudden I need money right away, but I just did a fundraising stream, you know? And I'm honestly afraid that if I were to do that, all right, that something's going to happen to screw me over, and now I've already asked you guys for help for one thing. I can't ask again. You know what I mean? Like, I feel, the way I see it is if I'm going to do a special event, a special stream like that, it's got to be for something that's very, very important and needs to happen right away. You know, I need to raise a good amount of money in a short amount of time because I really need the help, right? As opposed to, oh, I'm just going to do this to get some equipment for the stream, but then something really happens that's bad that I need help for right away, but you guys have already helped me, and now what do I do? You see what I'm saying? Like, I like to save those special events for something that's really important versus, oh, I arbitrarily need to get a new laptop at some point. You see? So that's what I'm thinking is like, I don't want to do that. I don't want it to become, oh, Phil's just every once in a while just does a fundraising stream to buy new equipment. Uh-oh, now something actually happened Phil needs help with, but now we can't help him because we already did. And it already went towards the equipment. You see what I'm saying? I want it to be saved up for a point when there's something very, very important. Because you never know what's going to happen. Listen, I never thought half the shit that's happened to me over the years would happen. Never. Never in a million years would I have thought that the people who screwed me over would screw me over the way they did, including a fucking actual tax guy, you know, from back in Connecticut. Never in a million years would I have thought about that would happen. So, that would be why. Being very honest here. I feel like I want to wait. If I'm going to do something special, it's, you know, it has to be for something super important. Like, God forbid something happens to the house or a medical bill comes up out of nowhere because one of me or my wife gets sick or something, you know. Then, okay, if I need to do a special stream for an important cause versus, oh, Phil just needs a new laptop. You see? But that's just my mentality. Jack Seabath cheers. He says the main voice actor from Resident Evil Village passed away today. Yes, we already talked about that, Jack. Thank you for bringing it up. And it's a very sad story. Thank you for the cheer. Lies for Soul cheers and says you'd play a dumb fuck game for morons like Divinity Original Sin 2, but you skip a historical RPG like Kingdom Come Deliverance. What on earth? Where did that come from? It's pretty obvious Lies for Soul does not want to see me play Divinity Original Sin 2. It's become apparent. Snowcrawl cheers says, Phil, can you limit the number of nominations a single person can make for the retrospective to 1 or 2? Feels unfair and not organic if all the moments are from 2 to 3 people. No, because if I did that, I'd have 3 moments nominated. I hate to say it, you know, this is exactly the reason why back in the day I used to do a countdown at the end of every year. It was called the top 10 fan-voted funniest moments of the year. And people thought it was one of my best year-end series overall because people would go through all my content for that year and nominate the funniest stuff, vote on it, and it would be a hilarious countdown that I would put together. All right? Why did I stop doing it? Because people stopped nominating stuff. It wasn't that I didn't want to keep doing it, but there was one year where, like, I'm not kidding, 5 people all year nominated anything. So at the end of the year, the series sucked, and I canceled it. And since then, I never did it again. And it's the same thing. You guys tell me you want more interaction, more power over what I do. Listen to your viewers. Listen to their feedback. Because, you know, that's how you keep in line with your customer base and your viewership. Great. So then I say, retrospective event. Nominate your favorite moments. And only 3 people nominate anything. So what do you want me to do? You can't have it both ways. You can't tell me I need to be more interactive. I need to listen to you more. But then when I have an opportunity for you guys to actually contribute, you don't. You know? And I can't make you do it. I can't pull teeth here. I can't say I'm forcing you to go nominate stuff. But at the same time, you got to understand that it goes hand in hand, you know? Yeah, the success of an event, like the retrospective event, goes hand in hand with the fact that people actually want to nominate stuff. So, for example, this retrospective event, if no one nominates anything and we only have 3 people nominating, then I won't do one again. That'll be the end of them. Because, again, just like the funniest moments, I can't do it by myself. It relies on your feedback, and if you're telling me I can't be bothered to do it, obviously you don't care about it, and so the events don't need to happen anymore. All right? All right. Baldy has resubscribed for 19 months in a row. It says 19 months of fun and chill with you, Phil. Also, what do you think of the lack of gifted subs? Because, wait, what? Do you think the lack of gifted subs because most people have wised up and started tipping you because you receive positive benefit immediately? Looking forward to more Valhalla today. I'm not sure what you mean. We've consistently stated over 900 subs, and I know for a fact that a lot of those are gifted. In fact, it's kind of weird because I expected that we were going to dip way down to, like, I'm not kidding, like probably 600 to 700 subs because we had so many gifted subs, yet we're still kind of maintaining around 900. You know, I don't know. Maybe there really is growth. I don't know. So I don't know what you mean by that. There's no lack of gifted subs at all. They've been really good, actually, I would say. Lives for Soul cheered again. He said, is it okay to register a sugar baby as a dependent on my taxes? Lives for Soul, stop asking stupid questions. Actually, hold on. Lives for Soul, is it acceptable for you to stop asking stupid questions on my streams? That's a better question. Timbo Slice cheers. He says, after a couple of weeks with no games to play, I now have the medium Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 HD remakes because of the Game Pass. That's right, the Yakuza Remake Collection has actually just released on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, you can play all the cool Yakuza games you missed. And they're great games, by the way. Okay. And he says he's excited to jump into Yakuza for the first time. I never played 3. I played 4. 4 was my first mainstream one. The actual first one I played was Dead Souls, which is the game that's the what-if scenario. What if Kamurocho was invaded by zombies, and how would the Yakuza handle it? That was a good game, actually. It was hilarious because when I played through it, I didn't know who any of the characters were. So, I really liked that, and it actually led me to go play the mainstream Yakuza games. So 4, 5, 6, 0, and now 7, and of course Judgment. And I love the series. So I wish you the best. I hope you enjoy it. I didn't play 3, but I know 4 is great. Deathproof Xbox has subscribed to the channel for 3 months. Thank you, Deathproof Xbox, for the ongoing support. Liza Soul did another 250-bit cheer and said something incredibly stupid again about me being a love guru, which I'm not, so I'm just going to ignore it, but thank you for the cheer. Pretzel4203 has resubscribed for 2 months. Thank you, Pretzel. Jack Seabatcher says it was Roger Craig Smith who was the voice actor for Sonic. He also voiced characters like Ezio from Assassin's Creed and Batman from the Arkham series. What? I guess that must have been you must be talking about Arkham Origins, because we all know that it was Kevin Conroy who voiced him in the other mainstream Arkham games. He says he also did voices for the Telltale. Oh, he did Batman in the Telltale games. I see. Okay. He's a good voice actor. He's definitely a good voice actor. Conversalist cheers says speculation in a systematic way requires competence and is a job, and you have to do everything necessary to tip the probability of success in your favor. Simple criticism is not timely in this sense because stock market actually provides a good service to our society, as does the futures market. Having a lot of money in your investment helps because even with a small increase in equity can buy you many loaves of bread, i.e. the rich can afford to be patient, the little guy often cannot. Sad. That's right. You're right. You just hit it on the head. Yeah, the whole stock market situation, the futures market can work if you're filthy rich. And now all of a sudden, people who aren't filthy rich have found a way to make it work for them, and the rich said, nope, shut that down. Liza Sold cheers. His investment is the purchase of an asset or an item with the hope that it will generate income or appreciate in the future and be sold at a higher price, and generally does not include deposits with a bank or similar institution, which is the opposite of trading or speculation, which is short-term practices involving a much higher degree of risk. Whew. Man. Lawlerman says, resubscribe for 15 months. He says, 15 months strong. Keep up the content, Phil. It's entertaining as fuck. Thank you, Lawlerman, for the support. Excuse me. Liza Sold cheered again. He says, financial assets take many forms. It can range from ultra-safe, low-return government bonds, such as higher risk and higher reward international stocks, and a good investment strategy will diversify your portfolio according to the specified needs, and regardless of the success and fundamental full potential of the asset cannot be reached without a proper money management strategy. Oh. Liza Sold at 110-bit share, and he said investments can be made through indirect intermediaries like pension funds, banks, brokers, and the insurance companies, which are institutions that may pull money received from a large number of individuals into funds and unit trusts like SICAVs. And then Liza Sold cheers said something incredibly stupid that I'm not going to read. Conversalist cheers said, interestingly, in a meritocracy and a competence-dependent society and economy, money does seem to be divided unequally and is one of the outcomes that manifests because of creative human endeavor. We do not know what to do about systematic corruption in a cyclical manner throughout history, and it's how come I understand it phenomenon at least. Okay, thanks. Conversalist cheered. He says, could you inspire rich to give away their money? They protect it, they move it, they hide it. I suspect you do not get rich by being stupid. You would agree to get rich. You do things that at least hold back on doing stupid things to keep making your money for speculation at GameStop because I hear say volatility. By the way, I agree there's systematic corruption in the financial markets. All right, Shelver Yukin has gifted a subscription to Orson the Voice. Congratulations to Orson the Voice, and thank you, Shelver Yukin, for the gifted subscription. I appreciate that. Snoozy Biku cheered and says, have you found your interest in modern day games fades in and out? I don't care about new games released, but I only find myself playing old school games. It all depends. Like, if there's a game that I find entertaining, I don't care if it's long. And a lot of the problems I have with modern games is that they're way too long. Like Assassin's Creed Valhalla is way too fucking long. But sometimes in a game like Yakuza 7, I just wanted to keep going. And I'm happy that there's post-game content. In particular, am I finding myself losing interest in modern-day games? No. But admittedly, to your point, yes, I do find myself every once in a while craving to go back and play an old-school game. Remember when I had the craving to play Final Fantasy VI? Like, really badly? And so I went back and I played it? Like, that just happens from time to time with me. I'm sure eventually I'll have a craving to go back and play some other old school games at some point too. Chrono Trigger. Oh man. Now I gotta stop. I gotta not think about it now because I have the next RPG coming up is Divinity Original Sin 2, and I can't start thinking about other RPGs until I play that one. Okay. Wooback Baby cheers says you should get a huge dragon tattoo on your back. By the way, I'm a 50-bit bitch now. You are not a 50-bit bitch. That's not what the term means. However, I do have a giant back tattoo. Covers my entire back. You guys have just never seen it. And I've never talked about it ever publicly on stream. So, there you go. Steven Seagull cheers. I believe I was the first to say you're the irresistible sex guru. Enjoy the title and wear the crown proudly and buy GameStop stock. You can't. You can't buy GameStop stock. The apps have been shut down. Only rich people can buy it now. Timbo Slice cheers says you're hitting that weed hard today. I mean, I'm not hitting the weed hard. I'm just trying to read these ginormous paragraphs as quickly and efficiently as possible. Liza Soul cheers says, can I be featured in a Pokemon stream? No. Steven Seagull cheered and says, how many tips to see the tattoo? Well, I don't know. None, because if I showed it to you, I'd get banned from Twitch. Steven Seagull, thank you for the cheer. I'm not reading that bullshit. Okay. Thank you to those who have cheered so far this week. Let's give shout outs to those who have. In 10th place, we've got Ninstar Rune. In 9th place, Fallout 3 Fan. 8th place goes to Golden Colts. 7th place, Phantasy Star PG. 6th place, Angelo Bestia. 5th place, Ripley Atomic. 4th place, Savage Today. 3rd place, Shirtless Mofo. 2nd place, Rob on Wheels. And in 1st place, Lice for Soul. Thank you for the cheers, everyone, this week. Also, thank you to those who have gifted subscriptions to the channel this week, including Show Ryukin, Big D's, and 672, who each gifted a single subscription. And then we had Spawn Killer, who gifted 2 subs. So thank you guys for that as well. Steven Seagull cheered again and said, "Women of culture." That's all he said. Okay, then. Excuse me. Whew. All right, guys. Let's take a brief break. I'm going to use the restroom. When we come back, it shall be, you guessed it, Assassin's Creed Valhalla Continuing. Now, like I said, I think we're heading into the end game. We're going to have to see. I don't know where the story goes from here. We'll have to find out. I don't know if we actually have to take over the other 2 territories or if they're not necessary for the end of the game. I have no idea. We'll find out in just a moment. All right, guys, thanks. I will see you all in a bit. Thanks for being patient. And, take this opportunity to grab a drink or a snack, use the restroom yourself, and I'll see you in just a sec. All righty then.